As the compact segment continues to get more premium and advanced, it really left the current generation Corolla falling behind, which is why Toyota is introducing an all-new version. I'm at the 2018 New York International Auto Show. Let's take a first look. So in the marketplace, the Corolla hasn't really always had the sportiest reputation. You can see with this all-new hatch, Toyota's really trying to change all of that. The design of the vehicle is basically the starting point. It sports all the new design languages we've seen on a lot of the current Toyota products. The front adopts the gaping grille that a lot of the other products have basically adopted. It reminds me a lot of the Toyota Prius Prime, especially on this XSE trim with the black contrasting and the dark chrome accents. Now, one thing that Corollas have always had since the last generation is standard LED headlights. That continues on this new Corolla hatch. That you can see they offer LED daytime running lights and an LED low beam projector. It's certainly a very attractive looking vehicle. I wasn't sure about it in pictures, but now that I'm seeing it in person, it looks a lot better. Now, you're probably noticing the new Corolla hatch is a lot lower and wider and longer. That's basically the case. It's about an inch lower than the previous generation, which just gives this vehicle a much more aggressive stance. Now, at launch, the hatch will offer two different trims. This XSE version will have 18-inch wheels. 16-inch wheels will come standard on the SE. They look great. This is basically the kind of wheel that you expect on a lot of hot hatches or sport compacts, and the Corolla is no different with that. Now, overall length has also been stretched. It's about an inch and a half wider in the wheelbase and in the overall length, giving this vehicle a much more aggressive, hunkered down appearance, which is definitely important when you're trying to develop like a hot hatch like this. Looking at the rear of the new Corolla hatch, you can see the design is instantly distinctive, just like the front. The taillights kind of mimic the actual design. You can see LED taillights are going to be standard on the rear as well, in addition to the LED headlights. And the XSE trim of this model certainly looks really appealing. I really like the rear roof spoiler that's included. It's got a slightly more aggressive rear diffuser with these integrated exhaust finishers, which look like they're actually not real, but it certainly is kind of going with the norm with everything else. And overall, I think the Corolla hatch is definitely something that's really appealing. Now, if you want to look underneath the rear cargo area here, there's a little button you can open up. Now, Toyota didn't have any final numbers yet for actually how much space it has, but you can see here it's very comparable to a lot of other competitors, although I am noticing it's not quite as deep or as low in terms of the floor. But I mean, overall, I think this will do really well when it comes to market in the summer of this year. So an all-new Corolla also means an all-new engine, and this is where the Corolla has kind of been lacking, especially when you look at the competition. The old 1.8-liter engine is gone, replaced by a new 2-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder engine. It's a naturally aspirated engine, and it kind of adopts the high compression, high efficiency that we've seen on the all-new Camry. Now, Toyota didn't have any numbers for horsepower or torque or fuel economy yet. However, they have announced the transmission. You can get it with a standard 6-speed manual transmission with a new active rev matching function. That's right. That's the same function that Honda offers on the Civic Type R, and it's standard on a Corolla with a stick shift, and it's available on the SE or the XSE trims. Now, if you guys don't know how to drive stick, you can also get a new dynamic CVT with 10 virtual ratios and the paddle shifters. It also has a first gear launch mode, which Toyota says is a production car first. Now, I am looking forward to driving this. Toyota says this is the most fun to drive vehicle, or the fun to drive Corolla ever, because it now rides on the TNGA platform, which makes it significantly stiffer and much more sportier versus the previous generation. Now, they didn't also talk about fuel economy, but they're expecting this new Corolla to basically have best-in-class fuel economy, but we'll have to talk about that at a later date when Toyota announces those figures. So stepping inside the all-new Corolla, the first thing I'm going to notice immediately is just how much lower this actually sits. I mean, with making the vehicle an inch lower, you definitely feel like you're much lower to the ground, which is a good thing because this is more of a sportier vehicle. Now, the interior of this Corolla has also been completely redone. It now adopts the new Entune 3.0 with a screen that kind of sits atop the dash, kind of like a tablet. It's going in the direction of all the other brands, and honestly, it's a pretty nice environment. Corollas have tended to have a cheaper interior in the past, and Toyota's kind of rectified that. It's got lots of soft touch materials with some of that faux stitching on the dash, on the door panels, and then some faux soft touch leatherette on the actual door panels. Now, one thing that Toyota is also introducing is Apple CarPlay for the first time, and Amazon Alexa on a Corolla, and the Entune 3.0 and that Apple CarPlay is going to be standard across all the trim levels, which is definitely nice. Toyota is also saying that Corolla, when it launches, will be the first Toyota with Toyota Safety Sense Plus, or Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which basically adds pedestrian detection at night, it adds lane trace assist, it adds full speed range adaptive cruise control, and basically it makes the Corolla one of the most safe vehicles in the segment because no other vehicle in this compact class offers that as standard equipment. Now, settling inside, I do notice the seats have better bolstering. There's actually a power driver's seat, which you couldn't get on a Corolla before, and really, it's going to be a very competitive segment. The new Civic kind of set the standard, and Toyota is really upping the game with this all-new version. Now, Toyota says it'll go on sale in the summer of this year with no pricing yet announced yet, but expect to find that out at a later date. For Redline Reviews at the 2018 New York International Auto Show, I'm Sophian Bey.